What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to another episode of Dave's World with none other than me, the gayest of Daves. Let me tell you something. Today, I had an idea. My son asked me a question, and so it reminded me of a story from while I was locked up. And I know that you guys and gals, y'all just loves the story time videos. Always asking me, prison stories. This is a jail story, but it's still a story, man. The question was, have I ever used my YouTube fame? How have I ever been able to use my clout, my YouTube fame? And it reminded me of this story. Some people might have already heard this one, but I don't think I ever actually made a video. So let's get into it. YouTube, let me tell you, in this video, I'm going to tell you a story that I thought was crazy. Like, when it was going on, the idea of what was happening actually blew my mind. But I have to set the mood for you, give you a little bit of a visual, or at least an idea of what was going on. I was in Hampton Roads Regional Jails, where I spent the majority of my time this last time when I turned myself in. And I ended up serving a year. In this jail, it was, a special housing jail for, high-risk medical patients, or, Newsom. Newsom? Is that Newsom? Why does that not sound right? For asshole inmates. If you were a dick, certain jails would send you to this jail. So I started off in a different jail, and me and Joe did a little Skype visit, and sure enough, somebody seen that because we were live during that visit. Joe was live, and someone decided to call the jail I was in and put in some fake suicide, thing. They were like, Dave had wrote a letter to his sister saying, he was going to kill himself live on YouTube from a Skype visit in the jail. You best believe they came picked your boy up straight out the shower. I was in the shower. They came and got me out of the shower I was in, butt naked, and made me get dressed. But they pulled me out. Either way, I looked I was in shock. I was like, what did I do? What are you doing? Where am I going? Oh, we just need to talk to you. That's always some bullshit. We just need to talk. Hell no. If they needed to talk to me, they would have just talked to me straight up there where I was at, where they had already had me at. No. While they pulled me down the hallway to talk to me, there was other officers back in the pod packing all my shit up, which is some bullshit. You never want anybody else to pack your stuff, man, because, they never get all of it, and you always end up losing out if someone owes you anything. So, that always sucks. But it didn't matter. I wasn't in jail, but for a few days at this moment. I never even wrote a letter. I hadn't even had a chance to get commissary to write a letter. I was actually waiting on commissary. I just made an order. Yeah. That suicide call in, that false claim of suicide got me put in a camera cell. It got me thrown in a camera cell, Buddha naked, butt naked, completely freezing, dick hiding in my stomach cold, and so now that I got the scene set, right? I'm in the cell. I'm waiting on mental health to come declare me good to go back into general population. And I get to talking with these police. They're like, yeah, what is this about you going live and killing yourself, this and that, boom, boom, boom. So I got to explain to them what After Prison Show is and what we do. And we're about not going back to jail. This is something I had to handle, and now I'm here, blah, blah, blah. Someone seen something, knew the jail I was in, and they called y'all up with some bullshit. Immediately, this big investigation goes on. Police from all over the jail are coming to see the YouTube guy that's locked up butt-ass naked, by the way. They keep coming and checking me out. Butt-ass, like, hey, man, is it true that, you're a YouTuber? You got, man, this is, boy, you caught a bad... And I'm literally in my head just wanting to cuss these dudes out. Why are y'all here? What did y'all just wanted to come... I felt like a zoo animal. Like, y'all just want to come check out the naked YouTuber on display at Chesapeake City Jail. Oh, my God. So, yeah. Well, because of that, I get sent to Hampton Roads Regional. Now I'm a high-risk inmate because everybody knows where I'm at. The YouTube channel had about almost 1 million subscribers at that point, and... yeah, they weren't dealing with it. They were not about to deal with that. So they send me to a jail that deals with lawsuits, investigations, and everything, because constantly people are dying there. Now, I'm not going to go and just say, because I don't know, so I'm not going to go and just say that, oh, it's the medical and it's the police's ignorance that's killing people. No, people get locked up for stupid shit. And they're dying of cancer or whatever. Their kidneys are on the brink of shutting down, and they end up dying. I know that's a shitty way to say it, but I mean, they end up, dying in jail, and, whatever. The paperwork comes from that, and it gets another person died in Hampton Roads Regional Jail. So it brings, camera, news, all that shit. So the last thing they really want is me, this guy who they fear. They even told me when I first got to this jail, like, oh yeah, I wouldn't tell nobody. What you do, I'd keep it hush hush. I could sense the fear, right? But I didn't really recognize it until one thing happened. I wanted a bottom bunk, right? I had a broken leg. I should have a bottom bunk, but they decided that I could climb a ladder and be on a top bunk. What the f? So I went to one of the police. I said, hey, officer, look, I'm on crutches. I need a bottom bunk. And he says, yeah, that's not my problem. I'm not classification. I didn't classify you as top bunk, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo. I went straight Karen on him. I need to speak to your manager. Right now, sir. He laughed at me. Immediately made it a point not to sleep, not to lose my concentration, but I watched the door, I watched the bubble, waiting for that moment that the sergeant came and did his rounds. And sure enough, I went to that sergeant. I said, hey, look, man. And he goes, wait, aren't you that YouTube guy? I said, yeah, I'm the YouTube guy. He's like, what you need? I was like, man, I need a bottom bunk. And I would like my own cell. Well, look, I said, I need a bottom bunk. And that cell right there is empty. He's like, you don't have a bottom bunk? Move your shit. You go in that cell. That's your cell. I'm like, oh, okay. It was real fast, real fast. That same officer that told me basically screw off came back through. And I said, hey, man. Thanks for sending me your sergeant, and he's like, because he knows he didn't send the sergeant. I just was, being a douchebag. And he kind of, I don't know, he had now this stuff like, I don't know, maybe I was just reading into it. I don't know. But it felt like he had a completely different attitude towards me. Like his sergeant was like, yo, that's the YouTube guy. We don't need him, making a YouTube video about the jail. So, give him what he wants. Yeah, don't ever, ever, ever give me that, feeling. because I'm a use it to my advantage, as I very well should, being in jail. I feel like, you take what you can get. So I did. If that makes me a dick, let me know, and, I'll think about my ways of thinking, and I'll make some changes. I'm all about getting better. Now the scene is kind of set. Now you got this arrogant YouTube inmate locked in this jail, and you got all these police that, oh, you want an extra tray? Oh, you want to do special cleanup? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I pretty much was getting whatever I want. But let me show you where I flexed on them. This is where I flexed on them. Flexed. I don't know. Maybe you should stop using cool words or whatever, when you're pushing 40. I feel like I need to start acting my age. Yeah, screw that. So, Razor Day, right? Razor Day actually is an all-day endeavor, and I'm going to tell you why. Because first thing in the morning when they let you out your cell, they put the razor sheet out and you sign your name. So at the last moment of the day, in the middle of the night, in your cell, when you're locked in your cell, they come by and they hand out razors only to those who were brave enough to get up and sign that stupid ass sheet first thing in the morning. Well, I did. I got up and I signed that thing. And I hadn't had a razor yet. This is my first time trying to get a razor. I think that might be bullshit. I don't know. But that's what we're going with right now, because I remember I had a lot of hair on my face. And I wanted to get rid of it. And this is why this sucked, right? Because I got all this hair on my face and they bring you these single blade, big throwaway razors that are just like straight garbage, like shaving with a plastic spoon almost. I mean, at least they cut hair. I don't think plastic spoons would actually cut hair. So they go by, they do rounds, they hand me my razor, and I commence to shaving my face, right? I commence to shaving my face. And for any of y'all that have been locked up, you know that when you're in a cell and you need to talk to a police officer, a nurse, or whatever, it's like trying to clip your dog's toenails. It's like trying to put a contact in your eye for the first time ever. It's like masturbation. It would be easier to hold your breath until you die than it would be to get a CO or somebody to do something for you when you're locked in your cell. I don't know why. It's really difficult for them. Maybe. I don't know. Well, while I'm shaving, I get the majority of one side of my face done, and the razor breaks. Like, completely breaks. Like, I'm tapping the hair out of the razor, and it breaks. It's in my sink. So now I'm banging on the cell like, yo, I need another razor. Banging on the cell. When I say I'm banging on the cell, I mean, it got to the point where when the first CO ignored me, I began to donkey kick this door with hopes that it would open up and I would just be standing there going, hey, I need a razor. And they would walk up like, and hand me a razor. But yeah, none of that happened. The CO that was doing this was this older woman. She was very nasty person. Like, she's just really mean. Really mean. I can't remember her name, but I remember her face. And she was just like, "Argh!" That's the type of person she was, man. She was straight up just like, like that's what she made you think. When you would talk to her, the stuff that would come out of her mouth would literally make you just, and your face just gets sucked inside of your head through your, I don't know. So when I asked her, I said, hey, I need you to call down and get me another razor. You know, it broke halfway through. And she looked at me and she was like, well, you know, we only bring enough razors for those that signed up for it. We don't have any extra ones. And it doesn't look that bad. You'll just have to wait till the next razor day, which was 3 days away, by the way. 3 days. It's like you get, razors twice a week. 3 days away. 3 days away. She wanted me to walk around with half of my beard gone, the other half, like full-fledged beard, just hanging off my face. So I did what any respectable inmate would do. When she opened my chuck hole, I put something in there and I would not let her close it. And she was getting mad. So she went and she got her sergeant. And I looked at the sergeant, same sergeant who got me my cell, by the way. I looked at that sergeant and I said, "Hey, Sarge, what's up, man? Nice to see you again. I need another razor. Look in my face." And he's like, okay, we'll get you one. That looks crazy. We're not going to let it go. We're not going to let you go like that, right? I look over, I said, "Thank you for saying that, because this woman just told me that I looked fine. It didn't look that bad. I'd have to wait till the next razor." So I looked at her and I flexed on her, literally flexed on her, right? And I said, I was like after he walked away, right? I flexed on her like this through the cell door and was just like, I was like, "Don't you know who I am?" Right? Oh, now she's hot. Now she's hot. She's over there. He comes back and I can see him through my cell at the bubble. I can see him. And she's like, "Don't give it to him. Don't let him get his way." Yeah, bitch. I got my way. Not only did I get my way, that officer came over and was like, "Look, I could not find your razor, but here are the clippers." He brought me the barber's clippers and was like, "Here you go." And guess what? That woman had to literally stand at my cell while I edged my beard up. I took my time. She was getting so mad. Oh my gosh, she was just snapping on me the whole way. That's how you flex your YouTube muscle while you're locked up in the city jail. You make sure that they know that you are capable of putting the whole jail and all the police on blast. I don't know how I made them know that I could do that. I never once was just like, "Bitch, I will put you on a YouTube video." But I feel that they feared that was possible somehow. And I did. I got pretty much what I wanted for a while. And I don't know, then it got worse. Look, it is possible for people to fear a YouTuber, but who would be the one to fear the YouTuber? Someone that's doing some shit that they don't want on the internet? I flexed that YouTube muscle as long as I could. I made sure that I was living comfortably. And when that muscle dwindled down and they did not care about my YouTube fame, I hid. I was quiet when the police were around. I did not want any of the people that I kind of, shit on, like that one woman with the razor, to come and get their revenge. I was an ideal inmate until the last day. I kind of spazzed out. But that's another video. Look, until next time, y'all be easy. I enjoy doing this so much. Smash the like button if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, if you didn't like the story, don't hit the like button. Don't hit it.